a Friday evening, just finished work, and we're feeling efficient. The main issue that we've got is that we're trying to get on the Kennet Avon to get to London in time for our Tower Bridge crossing, but the Kennet is like the only river that still keeps flooding, even though it hasn't rained properly in ages. So we're trying to time it just right to get to Newbury so that we can go through without having to do any of the really awkward locks on red boards, because that would be a bad idea. Right, and today for the first time the locks for the Kennet have gone amber as opposed to red, which means that it is on its way down, but that happens immediately after Newbury. So we've been trying to time it so that when we get to Newbury the river level calms down and then we can go. So we're going to start nudging our way there and hopefully just budge the boat up to Newbury this evening.
Because we're going to a water point and there's not another one for probably a week or so, while Wes cruises to the facilities, I'm doing a couple of loads of washing quickly before we fill up the tank again so that it can be new and fresh for the full week. So it's just always about being as efficient as possible. This has been such a beautiful mooring though. Just before Kintbury.
Really nice and quiet, everyone around here is really friendly. And we quite like being near the train tracks. It's not enough to disturb your sleep and they don't really run through the night. But we just quite like seeing little snippets of people on their commute. Just made a quick pit stop at the facilities, which are there.
All of the water jobs must be done.
Facility is just done, Amy's finishing up, and I'm going to go set the first lock of the day. No. Amy gave me one job and messed it up.
Sometimes if there's like a bywash on the lock landing, it's easier for me to just get on at the lock gate.
Parkour! One of the rivers comes really close here. It's really cool, there's just like almost like a land bridge between the canal and the river. It looks really nice out here. But down in the depths lurks a laundry monster.
I wish I could be outside.
Amy inside sobbing and Rufus outside sobbing. I'm having a lovely time.
Spring evening cruises are some of my favourites, I think. It's not too hot, it's not too muggy, but it's nice and light and there's loads of like flowers around. Oh, I love it.
So we've been thinking this whole time that the first time the River Kennet joins the canal is at Newbury. It looks like the river actually joins here for at least a bit, because that is the river and that is the canal. And the undercurrent coming from the river does look quite fast. The camera doesn't pick it up very well, but the slight shimmering in the water is caused by the undercurrent. And it goes under this bridge and then joins the canal. So we've got to get out of the lock and then basically join it without getting, well, thrown into that, I guess. It should be fine.
So because of the river pushing onto the lock landing, we're going to try and get Wes to jump on straight off of the gate. So I've got to try and hover in the lock walls. Go, go, go!
probably feel it soon.
Oh yeah, I can feel it pushing.
You're doing good. It even says no boating on there.
Oh,
Yeah. Pushing us right over.
I did it!
You got it?
I think so. Yeah!
Nice, smashed it.
That's my first time like negotiating like a dodgy weir.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much, but you can really feel it pull the boat.
That tree that it would have pushed us into was so intimidating.
Thankfully this bit still seems quite steady, but I think after Newbury it does pick up the pace a little bit with the flow. We've done a tiny little stretch on the river, and I think the river goes off down that way, and then we're back onto canals. It's around this point on the K&A where basically the rivers just join and then leave and then join and then leave. You're just on and off rivers and canals just constantly. Amy's still trying to get the washing done.
Just got to get it dry now.
Nice thing about being on rivery waters again is that the water's so much clearer because everything's just being moved through. And Amy's just had a look at the hull, and apparently from what she can see it looks fine, which is always a relief. And look here, you can see below the waterline, and on a lot of canals the water is basically opaque.
Finally, all the washing's hanging up.
Yay! Your reward is 3 more locks. Nice, isn't it? It's such a nice sunset. We've only got about 45 minutes worth of sunlight left, but we've only got 3 locks to go before near Newbury. We're hoping that we can get close enough, mainly because we're low on food and we really want chips. I don't know if any of the chippies will still be open by the time we get there and get into town though, but at least we're making good progress and there's less to go tomorrow. Come here! Come here!
Good boy! We've been practicing Rufus, getting better being off lead. But just mooching around the boat while we're waiting for locks and stuff. He's being such a good boy! Yes, you are! Good boy! Come on, Crocs! Come on! Good! So the sun's gone in now. I'd say we've only got about 20 minutes left, so I'd say rather than trying to force getting there, we just moor up in a nice spot that we can. Chippy Dream is dead.
It's 7 minutes to 9. Sunset officially is in about 4 minutes. And we're sort of in the middle of nowhere, and the bank is very, very reedy here. But it is getting dark, and we don't really want to do the thing where we end up cruising really late, especially when the bank's bad and we have to moor. So we're going to go through this lock and then assess the situation. Might have been a bit ambitious on this one.
So it's currently 21:07, 9:07, and we've only got 1 more lock to do, but it gets dark at about past. Sun's already gone in.
It looks a lot lighter on the camera than it is.
I feel like we're gonna risk it and go through, but we don't want to risk it too much because we haven't got a headlight. But it's just that there's nowhere to moor here because it's so reedy anyway. So we might as well go through the lock and then we can just get as close as we possibly can.
Yeah. Be fine. Go, go, go! Getting quite dark now. I think we're going to be alright. We're trying not to get too optimistic, but there's boats moored at the bottom of this lock, and there's no more locks until right in the centre of Newbury, and there's pretty much no chance we're doing that tonight. So even if we just find like a little 24-hour visitor mooring or something, that'll do us.
Annoyingly, we're really close to Newbury, but we don't want to risk it because if we carry on and there's nowhere to moor and it gets pitch black, it's just not worth the risk. So we're going to bank this spot and then just do it in the morning. But it means no chips for tonight, Waz.
Oh, not allowed to moor on this little fishing platform, but it does make for a convenient disembarkment of the boat. Look at that. Well, your ankles didn't even get stung, Amy.
Quite nettily, but we got a spot and it's a good job we did because it's really dark now. A lot later than we anticipated, but we absolutely smashed it.
What an efficient evening.
Thank you for coming along with us on this spring evening cruise.
Big shout out to the patrons as always.
And if you want to see more, check us out on our socials and we'll see you next time.